everyone, this is Jennifer Beamer, owner-operator of Exploit Diet Art by Science, but also a PhD student. And in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the things that I've been struggling with my PhD, because they're not easy. In fact, it's probably one of the hardest things I've literally done in my entire life. So one of the things that has really dragged me down is, despite being an enthusiast when it comes to textiles and textile production and doing it as a hobby, and with Exploit Diet kind of pushing the experimental boundaries in that direction, it also becomes fatiguing when you're doing it for 3 or 4 years and you have to have a certain caliber of work put out, because at the postgraduate level, it's pretty much standard. Which means if you don't love your topic, you probably should love your topic before you embark on a PhD. But if for some reason you've fallen out of love with your PhD topic, it could just mean that perhaps it needs to shift focus slightly, and of course review all that with your supervisor. But my degree has been pretty much as expected. I knew that getting to this level would require quite a bit more effort on my part before actually getting to do all the fun stuff. But even though I'm still doing the fun stuff, it doesn't feel like fun on some days. And it's not because I don't love archaeology, because I absolutely do, and I really wish I could do more archaeology. So yeah, that was the cat walking around on all my papers. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with education, and I love it. It can be a little bit much, and sometimes it's difficult to step away, and sometimes you just have deadlines and it's really difficult to step away from that. But one of the things that I've found to really be helpful for my PhD is maintaining all my crafty stuff. So with Exploit Diet coming back, I've actually found that new love of my project. So despite being 3 years, well, technically 4 years if you consider my master's degree, into this very intensive and rigorous study of textile production at this cutting edge, pushing boundaries line, I think that I'll have one more year in me before I'll really need to take a break and maybe do something a little bit different, although not too different because I still want a job with my PhD. But yeah, I think it would be really useful for me to get back into all this and perhaps do these semi-regular updates for those of you who are interested in doing a PhD, especially one in textile studies and archaeology, because it's definitely marginalized and it's probably more across the board than you would like. But you need people doing this research because it ties so many things together. And if you have an interest in doing this, I definitely encourage you to do it, but it's not for the faint of heart. You really have to have a source of self-motivation, and if you don't, you need to find a support network to help keep you on track, so that if you start to go on a tangent or the enthusiasm starts to wane a little bit, you have some options in place for when that happens, and you know what the next thing could be if you really don't like it. So it's never the end. Well, I hope you liked this little heart-to-heart video. Like I said, I don't know how often I'll do it, but it is really important to get it out there, because as a researcher, you're under so much stress, and just being able to talk to other people about it is somewhat difficult. So sometimes you just need crowdsource, and with you guys, you know what it's like to be a crafter, and a lot of you are enthusiasts and you do all this research on your own, so you understand some of the difficulties that I'm describing, even if you don't understand or can relate to the same degree that I am struggling. But PhDs aren't easy. No one ever said they were. And with textile studies and archaeology, it's particularly so. So thank you for letting me have a little moment to myself and share this. You guys are great. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're dealing with some stress with your PhD or master's or whatever level of education you're in, if you want to break into a field of study that's somewhat marginalized like textile studies, you know, post that in the comments as well. And as always, if there's a topic that you want me to consider in the future, please let me know too. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!